Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei. Today we're going to be talking about Blockwars 1 and the difficulty and complications, I guess, of what it was like to host this event. This is the first episode, I guess, of the behind the scenes of Blockwars team making, player management, etc. Starting in a chronological order with the first event, because damn, this was stressful, okay? But we made it work eventually. I'll talk about the whole environment in which this was created, and then I'll talk about the specific invites a little bit. From what I could tell, I tried to track it backwards, but it's been almost a year and a half, I think, or about a year and a half, so it's hard to track. Anyways, for those of you who are newer to the event and don't really know much about how Blockwars kind of started, Blockwars originally was like a combined roster just called Blockwars. Up until the roster expanded to a point where there was different communities within the roster, and combining them was kind of negatively affecting both sides. Thus, the split was introduced. Now, this at the time was a very controversial, not super controversial. It was a controversial idea because essentially we were saying, okay, this event that started as like a friend event, got content creators added because the organizer is a content creator, which was me, and the people that helped was Shane, etc. It's now a content creator organized event, so content creators started to join because we want to grow the event. We put a bunch of efforts into the event. We want to make it bigger, and also these are fun people to have. So we invite content creators to the point where this original group of people got in less because we kept adding content creators, which was a problem. Thus, we introduced the split, but people were like, well, now the main thing is going to be the content creators, not the original players. It's kind of messed up, blah, 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 whatever. Years later, now Joe Barlozzi runs the event, and Feinberg, and now everyone's happy. So, I don't know. I think it worked out pretty well. Either way, for context, this tweet, etc., went out around the same time, and I will give you a warning. I'm going to be looking at an old MCC, so there's players on there who we no longer will talk about, but this is hosted around MCC 26-ish. This is still pretty, top tier, level of MCC relevancy, where, the event, MCC was the event. It was, thriving, okay, still. It was just by far the biggest Minecraft event in the scene. There's not really a lot of competition. So Blockwars tips their little toe in the water, being like, "Hey, let's give this a shot," and we get a roster like this. Now, how do we get this? Initially, we were just gonna do only invites, but then myself and Shane both, we were, by the way, Shane and I were the ones getting people for the first event. I don't remember exactly when Misty started helping. I think it might have been Blockwars 2. Actually, it definitely was Blockwars 2 because Misty got Smant and Fur. But yeah, me and Shane were the only ones doing player management and invites and stuff for the first event. And we started with this and then also did some more invites in the meantime, which results in this roster. Roughly, I think we had, I don't actually remember if we had substitutes. Oh, we did. We had 2 people drop out and then 2 people sub in. 4? Hold up. 3 people subbed out and then, yeah, we had sub-ins. The 3 sub-ins being, I'm pretty sure, Elena, Aimston, and Sleepy. Either way, I pulled up I took a screenshot and I tracked where the invites came from what I can tell, what I can remember. Puts into perspective the combined effort of how you managed to get invites. But damn, it was difficult, okay? Look, there's some people who are more open to playing in events. I know, for example, a larger creator who tends to be relatively open to playing and stuff, as long as they're invited by associates or know that they're going to be associated with people that they know, is Jordan. I know Jordan or Captain Sparkles, that is, obviously. I think he was relatively open to play, obviously, upon invite. And, I mean, the first team that they got was really well made. I think this Teal Turtles team is still the most cohesive team from the first event. As much as you could say that the Golden Gorillas, the Lifesteal team, is more cohesive, it was also very OP. So, like the teal turtles was like properly balanced and like worked really well, and then the yellow team was like overpowered, but it worked really well. So like you know, two sides of the coins. You pick and choose heads or tails. You know, whichever one you prefer. Anyways, some of these people were really easy to get. And you know, to keep it completely real, like my team was pretty easy to build. By the way, fun fact, the way I got Joko was I just sent him a random Twitter message, and he actually replied, and that's how we got Joko. I didn't actually know him beforehand. He didn't know who I was. I just kind of messaged him and be like, hey, you want to play? Here's a team. He's like, yeah, sounds cool. So there you go. Red team was pretty easy. I think yellow team was pretty easy too, from my memory. Red, Zam, and Ash had already played before, and they like actually actively wanted to play. Pangy had already asked to be in the event before, and Parker was just also kind of similar to Jordan, just down for anything really. So that worked out pretty well too. I'm trying to think of who else was like. What else was difficult? I think the main problem with this is it's kind of similar to how we do rookies now, where you have like little pieces of a puzzle to work with, and I'll get into rookies down the line as well of how that's complicated. But you have little pieces of a puzzle, I guess. You have a couple players on teams. For example, my team had like me, Shatter, and Delta, for example, right, as like the people that are already there. Or you have like Misty and Callum together as like an example, and you kind of have to think about who would fit here, who can we get. Keep in mind this is early. Shane and I, contacts wise, not that many, not even nearly comparable to how many we have now, but very, very few people we could work with. We kind of hit the limit, and you kind of have to think about like, okay, who can we get and where do you put them for like this grand like return, or rather like a new fresh beginning of a roster, because this is the foundation upon which the entire event was going to be built, you know. And I'm pretty sure the majority of these people did play in the following event. I'm trying to think of which people didn't. I think Burren didn't. I don't know if Joko did. There's a couple people who probably did and didn't, but yeah, we had a pretty good portion of these people like returning for the event following, which is good. But that is not guaranteed, you know. That you could have had this first event to be an absolute stinker, and then everyone leaves, and then you're back to square one. And then what? If you hit your limit for invites already for the first event, and all the invites no longer want to play, hypothetically, what do you do next? Like, it was scary. So I am glad that it worked out well. Obviously, things are good now, but early blockwars was not easy. It was not easy. I don't know if I'll be going into detail on like the blockwars 2, 3, etc. It depends on like what there is to talk about. I think 2 and 3 might still have interesting topics, because they both involve me not being available for different reasons. I don't know if like 4, 5, 6 and all that is like super interesting to talk about, so I might not. Also, to end off the video, if you're still here, Pandora's box today. Maybe by the time you watch this video it's already over, but Sunday, April 7th, it's at 7:30 p.m. GMT, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. That's when the event starts, so I'll be live probably like 5 minutes before to talk about it. So yeah, and play, obviously. I have a really cool team. It's me, Ant, Frost, Fruitberries, and Ted Zadig. We're gonna be gaming at like a concerning high level, okay? Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you all have some more insight about how Blockwars 1 was managed and how it can be scary. If anyone is planning to do a split, or if is planning to do like a content creator like you know, event revamp, I guess, or like a fresh start, just know that we're in an environment now within the event scene where there's a lot of competition, and I don't know how many people are like willing to just kind of jump straight into something new. It was already difficult here because there was no competition and there was MCC, so you know, people are like, well, I want to be an MCC, I don't care about blockwars type of situation, right? Or at least part of the, you know, some people probably were like that, because let me keep it real, there was some invites that we did for this first event who didn't actually reply or didn't say yes or whatever, right? Which is fine. But then later down the line, you know, things changed. I'm not gonna get into that because you don't need to know about that. But yeah, very interesting. Anyways, enough yapping. I'll see you today in the live stream, or else I will see you on another Mogul Mail soon. All right, goodbye.